Good morning, gentlemen, and what a grand morning it is, too. We have just cause for celebration. Galloway and Phelps are sending another fiend to San Quentin. A nice showy trial, and he'll be strapped down with gas seeping into his tiny reptile brain. Now, to fresh business. Galloway and Phelps, the task is at hand. The address is on the hill, north downtown off Fremont Avenue.
Skipper, is the new letter genuine?
Now, boys, we all know how many imbeciles have confessed in the short case. Ray Pinker will let us know in good time.
I gave his wife a tap. I said all's fair in love and war.
A
fine
girl.
morning indeed.
Stole my cigarette.
We keep locking them up, but the bodies keep piling up.
Californians love a fad, Phelps. As long as the bricks hold up at San Quentin, there'll always be killers in this town to send there.
This is your automobile. You're a Modest little person with much to be modest about. What the hell?
Has anyone seen my pen?
That's disgusting. Didn't you ever hear of germs?
Mouthpiece tore strips off me at the grand jury. Case got thrown
Greetings
out.
from sunny California. Stop.
First the letter, and now another body. Come on, you can't keep on telling me there's not a killer still out there.
You know, Phelps, all these arrests on your record are giving you a reputation. You don't want them turning into unsolved.
Getting a vicious killer off the streets is more important than my reputation.
Really?
And besides, landing a big fat marlin is more impressive than an ocean full of minnows.
The minnows make it the man, Phelps. You can't always hit home runs. Sometimes you just gotta make first base.
All units, officer needs help. 211 and shots fired. 391 Broadway, Mallory's Cafe. 391 Broadway. Unit to handle code 3. Identified.
Go to hell, Parker! No way I'm going down without a fight.
Drop the weapon, hands behind your head.
Yeah? Fuck you too!
God damn it, get out. Put your hands in the air. Give it up, LAPD.
Shimmy down the drain pipe.
Surrender now, or I will use deadly force.
This is Car 11 King. Advise all units that the 211 from Mallory's Cafe is code 4, KGPL.
Roger, 11K. All units, 211 from Mallory's Cafe is code 4. Repeat, code 4.
If we survive this, it's gonna be a miracle. Slow and steady, come on! Please, Phelps, the siren.
Do I tell you how to drive?
That guy there will lead us up.
I'm steeling myself for what I'm about to see.
That'll just be another dead body. Used to saying, you're the gig when you work in homicide, Phelps.
Cole, come on! Breathe, Phelps. Breathe, damn it!
Detectives?
Phelps and Galloway, homicide.
Scene is secure. The rest of the patrolmen are going door to door, canvassing for witnesses.
Thanks. Keep me informed.
Will do, Detective.
This looks awfully familiar.
I think that's the impression the boys from the Examiner took with them as well.
There's nothing original under the sun. Why should murder be any different?
What do we have so far?
Not much trace evidence to speak of. Storm blew in around 10 last night, and the rain washed most of it away.
And the body?
Looks like she was tipped out of an automobile from the tire tracks and superficial injuries. Strangled with a length of rope. And for my money, it's triple braid again.
Time of death?
From her temperature, maybe 2 a.m., but it was cold last night.
Usual head injuries?
Blunt force trauma. Knock him over the head, then strangle and mutilate. No message with this one.
At least she was left clothed.
I doubt very much he was concerned with her dignity.
The green silk dress is very distinctive. Any sign of her other shoe?
No. And no handbag or other personal effects.
There appears to be a dry cleaning label. Superior Laundry Services, F1363. No drag marks. The killer was moving around, surveying the scene. Our driver and our killer are most likely one and the same.
It would take a smarter man than me to connect that.
Detectives, I've been working the houses across the street and up the block. This lady thinks she has something for us.
Detective Phelps, LAPD.
I'm Mrs. Barton, Catherine Barton. I live just across the way.
Did you see anyone around here last night?
Not last night, but yesterday, early evening, I saw that awful hobo.
What's the agenda here, Mrs. Barton? You trying to get rid of Bose and improve the real estate prices? Or do you want to help us catch this lady's killer?
You think I'm lying?
Sorry. Sometimes you have to shake the tree to see what falls out.
Did you see anyone around here last night?
Not last night, but yesterday, early evening, I saw that awful hobo.
Do you have a description?
Tall, gaunt, horribly disfigured. I think he may have had an accident in the war. He's a very scary, angry man.
Any idea where we might find him?
One of the hobo camps around here. He's some kind of hobo leader. They all follow him around.
Thank you, ma'am. You've been a big help.
Of course. Anything I can do to help. I'd hate to think that something so ghastly could happen right here and nothing be done about it. I don't want to be caught in the middle of anything.
Cole Phelps, badge 1247.
How could I help, Detective?
I need an address on Superior Laundry Services.
Just a moment. Superior Laundry Services, 1260 West 1st Street.
Can you track down reports of hobo camps in the vicinity of Signal Hill?
Just a moment, Detective. There's a large camp under the bridge on Grand between Temple and Sunset.
Thanks for your help. Can you keep things under control until Pinker and Carruthers finish up?
Sure, Detective. We'll stay out of their way.
Can't be much help to you, Phelps.
I'll call you when I know something. Meanwhile, get on with the case.
You're clear to work, Detective.
Don't worry about it. We've got a tight lid on the place.
No message. Jesus, Phelps!
Excuse me?
There was no message.
Where?
On the Vic. The last bodies had something written on them. This one didn't.
I'm failing to follow you.
Can't be the same guy is what I'm saying, right? Before you start trying to link this to Maldonado and all the others.
There are more factors to consider than the messages, Rusty.
This doesn't fit your pattern, Cole. End of conversation. Understand?
Any Central Unit, Car 16L reports a possible jumper at 8th and Hope. The Methodist Church unit to handle Code 2 identified.
Easy. Calm down. Cole!
At least the rain stopped. You can change back into those white bucks now.
I'm sorry, madam. Police officer,
If
I
I
need your car.
get it back with as much as a scratch.
I'll do it! So help me God, I'll jump!
You need to get up there. Let me do the talking, detective. I know a ton of this psychology stuff. You take the back alley and find a way up there.
Come on, Phelps, let's get moving.
Are you jumping? Make sure you warn me before you do.
I will!
Gotta be something.
Wait! What?
You think this thing can hold you, Rusty?
I'll bring you down with me, Phelps.
No offense, but I don't want you splashed on my shoes.
Are you crazy? What are you trying to do?
I remember my first jumper. Could have soaked him up with a sponge. I still can't eat spaghetti sauce.
Shut up, all right?
This what you wanted?
I can't do it. I'll come quietly. I need some help. Please. You gotta get me some help.
You're a danger to yourself and to others.
Officer needs help. Bank of America, 7th and Olive. Officer needs help. Bank of America, 7th and Olive, at 211 in progress and shots fired. Unit to handle code 3, identify.
Phelps and Galloway, LAPD. We're investigating a case, and one of your laundry labels came up. F1363.
If you give me a minute, I'll go find a register and you can take a look. You take a look for yourself. I've got clothes that need pressing.
You wrote the number down on that dress, is it there?
Mrs. T. Terrellson, 43 Emerald Street, Westlake.
got a feeling we're about to meet another wife killer.
You've always got that feeling, Rusty.
Yeah, and it's usually correct.
Please, for once, can you not let your assumptions color your detective work?
Just you wait. Nordic types show a particular disposition for this stuff. The siren might keep people out of your way, Phelps. What do you think?
Defies the warp within.
Hello? Yes? Detectives Phelps and Galloway. Is your wife home, sir?
My wife went out last night and she hasn't come home.
Can you describe your wife and what she was wearing?
We were out at a friend's place, Bobby Ross's, for a party. She was kind of dolled up. She had her green silk dress, open-toed white shoes. Those are her favorite shoes.
Can we come in, Mr. Tarleton? I'm afraid we have some rather bad news. Do you have someone who can look after your children, Mr. Tarleton?
I've been trying to arrange a sitter. Look, tell me what's happened.
I'm afraid your wife was murdered last night. Her body was found this morning. We're very sorry for your loss. I know this is a difficult time, Mr. Tarleton, but we are going to need you to answer some questions. First, we're going to take a look around.
What for? You don't think
it's
that...
procedure. You see to your girls.
Stay here till Daddy's finished talking to these men.
Where's Mommy?
Everything's gonna be all right, sweetheart.
We would like Mommy to come home now, Daddy.
What's the problem, Tarleton? Let him search. You got nothing to hide. You want to hear something funny, Tarleton? Some bums think filling out a missing persons report actually rules them out as a suspect.
Operator, message for KGPL.
Putting you through now.
Phelps, badge 1247.
How can I help, Detective?
Can you run an address for a Bobby Ross, then send some uniforms over?
Would you like him picked up?
No. Suspect says he was with Ross last night. We need to confirm the alibi.
I'll get a prowl car dispatched.
Thank you.
This isn't what we're looking for.
Need to check if she was a regular.
I wonder why the picture was turned down. Don't think this is anything. Circumstantial.
If you'd excuse me, ladies.
Baron's bar again. Someone must be real sweet on this dive.
I'll be out of your way momentarily, ladies.
Not sure this means much.
Lars was out in the rain last night. We can see if Pinker can match the impression to the crime scene. So she went out without her handbag? At least she was spared that particular indignity. She'd have to be in quite a state to leave this behind. Like a match with the ligature marks.
He just refuses to accompany me to church. Whoa, this day was a total waste of makeup.
Oh, I wish I could afford that. For the record, Mr. Tarleton, what is your wife's name?
Teresa.
Do you have any idea why anyone would want to hurt your wife?
No. Everyone loved Teresa. She was so full of life. It can't be anyone who knew her.
For the record, Tarleton, did you kill your wife?
Oh my God. No. I didn't kill my wife. And fuck you for suggesting it.
You said you went to a party at Bobby Ross's place?
That's right. Bobby had a bunch of people over. We were having a good time. She said she was bored and decided to leave.
You let your drunk wife leave the party and go off on her own?
Look, I was angry. I was having a good time. She has to go and ruin it. We always have to do what she wants to do. Last night she wanted to go dancing.
Any idea where?
Where she always goes. A bar down on North Beaudry Avenue. Baron's Bar. She goes there, drinks too much, gets maudlin, and calls me. I go and bring her home.
Mr. Tarleton, was Teresa happy at home?
Yeah, I think she was.
Spill it, Tarleton. We like the look of you for this, so you better give us something.
We're at the party. She has a few and says she wants to go out dancing. We only have the sitter until 9. I get mad. I tell her to go ahead, but I'm staying. She storms out. Look, I'm doing well at cards. I hardly ever do well. I married her because she was so much fun, but now she drives me fucking crazy.
What time did she leave the party?
About 8:30, maybe a little earlier.
When was the last time you saw your wife?
Around 8:30. The card game at Bobby's was wrapping up. I played out my hand and drove home here. I paid the sitter and went to bed.
When was the last time you saw your wife?
Around 8:30. The card game at Bobby's was wrapping up. I played out my hand and drove home here. I paid the sitter and went to bed.
You're lying, Lars. You didn't come straight home, did you?
And how do you figure that?
You were out in the rain. You got soaked, Lars. We found your wet weather gear.
Okay, I stayed a little later than I said. This cute little brunette was hitting on me. Teresa noticed. I was half cut. I walked her home from Bobby's, but nothing happened. I walked back and got the car this morning.
Thanks for answering our questions, Mr. Tarleton. You'll need to go downtown to identify your wife's body.
I should have taken her dancing.
In my experience, Mac, if you give in to broads, you'll be giving in to them your entire life. Sounds like the Tarleton broad had her last drink at Barron's Bar. We should check the place out.
Appreciate your time, sir.
You believe this guy's story?
Kind of rings true.
I think we ought to investigate the hobo lead.
Well, if you think we ought to, I guess we ought.
Any Central unit, possible 415 at Alvera Street Plaza, unit to handle code 3 identified. Broadcasting Network.
Greeting you from Los Angeles, California. KGI Radio 760.
Always bother. Sick don't leave me alone. I fought. Where's my wife? I'm the one that nobody cares about me. I took a
We're looking for a tall man with a disfigured face. Do you know him?
Huh? What? I fought in 2 wars, you know, son. I think I earned some peace and quiet.
The bum isn't here.
Look at these people.
We should follow the old lead. These guys can wait.
Go easy, Phelps.
This is a tasty burger.
So, you gonna see your married man again?
Gents, drink?
Phelps and Galloway, LAPD.
I'm Benny Clough. This about Teresa Terrellson?
Yes, it is.
I heard about it on the radio. They're saying it was that Black Dahlia freak again? God damn it. Yeah, I rang that husband of hers. The babysitter said he was out.
If you don't mind, we have a few questions. What time did Teresa leave?
Around 10:30, I think.
That's a lie. You kept her here until past closing.
Say what? I'd like to see you go ahead and prove it, pal.
You don't ask, you never find out.
We don't have time for you to be making guesses. What time was it exactly?
Hey, give me a break. I don't remember it to the second.
Who was she with? We've had reports about a tall, gaunt-looking hobo. He wasn't here last night?
I get plenty of bums in here, but nothing to fit that description.
The likelihood is that whoever she left here with killed her. Give it up, Benny.
All right, two creeps were all over her, promising to take her dancing.
You get a good look at these guys?
Sure. I got a good look. One of them was a sailor in uniform. His cap said, USS Indiana.
And the other man?
The other guy is Richard Bates. He's sitting in the back right now. Red polo shirt.
Thank you for your help, Mr. Clough. We'll take it from here.
Hey, no problem.
This is Bates?
That's him.
LAPD, don't make me chase you, shitbird. You can't let the son of a bitch get away. Go, Phelps, get after it. Come on, got a ride. Get in and drive.
I thought you were gonna leave me there.
Who knows what this guy will pull when he's cornered? We could have a killer on our hands.
Come on, Phelps, you're letting this lust get away from you.
I don't think the killer would be kicking back in the bar where he met the Vic in.
God damn it, get after him, Cole.
I thought you were gonna leave me there. Who knows what this guy will pull when he's cornered? We could have a killer on our hands.
Hit him. Clean this asshole off the road.
I don't think the killer would be kicking back in the bar where he met the Vic in.
Listen, a creature of habit is your killer. For some reason, they're sticklers for routine.
Phelps, you gotta get me closer. Hit him, Cole. Spit him out. I'll try to shoot out his tire. Wish me luck.
All right, you got me. I've had enough.
Hands behind your head.
Okay, Bates. You're gonna answer some questions.
I have a choice in this.
Last night, you went drinking with a lady in the bar. Now she's dead. And your face is all messed up.
I'm in the clear on that. She preferred a sailor. You could lay it off on him. Are we finished?
You sure you and the sailor didn't take her somewhere and things got out of hand?
Even cops need evidence. You got nothing on me that links me to that woman.
You're off the hook. For now. Do you want my partner to sap you? Tell us what we want to know.
She was okay. Drunk. Pissed off at her old man, wanting to go dancing. I thought I'd ply her with a few drinks and get my end away. Looks like your salty had the same idea.
So what happened when you left the bar?
Sailor boy laid one on me. A cheap shot. After that, I don't know.
What happened to the woman?
Your guess is as good as mine.
We're taking you in, Bates.
How
Root beers all around, doll. What's the
Gents.
special of the day?
Drink?
Phelps and Galloway, LAPD.
I'm Benny Clough. This about Teresa Terrellson?
Yes, it is.
I heard about it on the radio. They're saying it was that Black Dahlia freak again? God damn it. Yeah, I rang that husband of hers. The babysitter said he was out.
If you don't mind, we have a few questions. What time did Teresa leave?
Around 10:30, I think.
On foot? In a car? By bus? How was it?
She called for a cab.
Did you get the number?
Sure I did. I like Teresa. The only time she has a drink is when things aren't going so good at home. I was worried about her.
Put out an APB on the cab. 3591. Should be traceable. Who was she with? We've had reports about a tall, gaunt-looking hobo. He wasn't here last night?
I get plenty of bums in here, but nothing to fit that description.
The likelihood is that whoever she left here with killed her. Give it up, Benny.
All right, 2 creeps were all over her, promising to take her dancing.
You get a good look at these guys?
Sure. I got a good look. One of them was a sailor in uniform. His cap said, USS Indiana.
And the other man?
The other guy is Richard Bates. He's sitting in the back right now. Red polo shirt.
Any idea where she was headed?
Nope. I didn't get that.
Or maybe you just won't share. You sure no one slipped her a Mickey Finn, then took her back to their place?
Not in my bar, goddammit. You got any proof of her being doped in my bar?
I'll bring you coffee.
Sorry. My mistake.
She was murdered, Benny. Brutally murdered. If you like this lady, you should give us something.
You telling me I'm not cooperating? Watch it, pal.
Thank you for your help, Mr. Clough. We'll take it from here.
Hey, no problem.
This is Bates.
That's him.
LAPD, don't make me chase you, shitbird. You can't let the son of a bitch get away.
Where's that goddamn weight?
Go, Phelps, get after it. Come on, got a ride. Get in and drive.
I thought you were gonna leave me there.
Who knows what this guy will pull when he's cornered? We could have a killer on our hands. I don't think the killer would be kicking back in the bar where he met the Vic in.
Listen, a creature of habit is your killer. For some reason, they're sticklers for routine. Come on, Phelps, you're letting this lust get away from you. He's showing you how it's done.
You're a reckless bad person.
Maybe you shouldn't have waited for me, Phelps.
Don't go to sleep on me. Get me back in close. Keep it steady and I'll try to bust his tires. Now is not the time to play around, Phelps.
Let's end this farce.
Phelps, you gotta get me closer.
Spin him out, Cole. The road's wet.
God damn.
Eggs are running. Gents, drink?
Phelps and Galloway, LAPD.
I'm Benny Clough. This about Teresa Terrellson?
Yes, it is.
I heard about it on the radio. They're saying it was that Black Dahlia freak again? God damn it. Yeah, I rang that husband of hers. The babysitter said he was out.
If you don't mind, we have a few questions. What time did Teresa leave?
Around 10:30, I think.
On foot? In a car? By bus? How was it?
She called for a cab.
Did you get the number?
Sure I did. I like Teresa. The only time she has a drink is when things aren't going so good at home. I was worried about her.
Root beers all around, though.
Put out an APB on the cab. 3591. Should be traceable. Who was she with? We've had reports about a tall, gaunt-looking hobo. He wasn't here last night?
I get plenty of bums in here. but nothing to fit that description.
The likelihood is that whoever she left here with killed her. Give it up, Benny.
All right, 2 creeps were all over her, promising to take her dancing.
You get a good look at these guys?
Sure. I got a good look. One of them was a sailor in uniform. His cap said, USS Indiana.
And the other man?
The other guy is Richard Bates. He's sitting in the back right now. Red polo shirt.
Any idea where she was headed?
Nope. I didn't get that.
The husband said she wanted to go dancing.
And she always wants to dance when she's been drinking. She was trying to talk some guys into taking her to one of the dance halls.
Thank you for your help, Mr. Clough. We'll take it from here.
Hey, no problem.
This is Bates?
That's him.
LAPD, don't make me chase you, shitbird. Can't let the son of a bitch get away.
I love these waitresses. Everyone's a dog.
Go, Phelps, get after it. Come on, got a ride. Get in and drive.
I thought you were going to leave me there.
Who knows what this guy will pull when he's cornered? We could have a killer on our hands.
Come on, Phelps, you're letting this lust get away from you.
I don't think the killer would be kicking back in the bar where he met the Vic in.
Listen, a creature of habit is your killer. For some reason, they're sticklers for routine.
Don't go to sleep on me. Get me back in close.
Hit him, Cole. Spit him out. Keep it on the road, goddammit.
Let's end this farce.
Hit it. Clean this asshole off the road.
Phelps, you gotta get me closer.
Spin him out, Cole. The road's wet.
All right, you got me. I've had enough.
Give it up, LAPD! Okay, Bates. You're gonna answer some questions.
I have a choice in this.
Last night, you went drinking with a lady in the bar. Now she's dead. And your face is all messed up.
I'm in the clear on that. She preferred a sailor. You could lay it off on him. Are we finished?
Do you want my partner to sap you? Tell us what we want to know.
She was okay. Drunk. Pissed off at her old man, wanting to go dancing. I thought I'd ply her with a few drinks and get my end away. Looks like your salty had the same idea.
So what happened when you left the bar?
Sailor boy laid one on me. A cheap shot. After that, I don't know.
You've done time, haven't you, Richard? Is that why you ran?
I'm on parole.
On what offense?
Sexual assault. Look, I was lying there on the sidewalk. He flags a cab and jumps in with the broad.
We're taking you in, Bates.
How come?
Just for a chat. Nice private chat. I'll explain my theory of once a degenerate, always a degenerate.
Take him to Central. He's a material witness in a murder case. Find him a cozy cell.
Richard here knows the drill.
It's him.
Broad has socks in it for you.
You nearly knocked me down.
Call in that cab number. Put out an APB. We'll have the whole force on this case.
This guy's got a screw loose. The heck?
If you were twice as smart, you'd still be stupid.
What's your beef with this guy, Phelps?
Whoops.
Did you read about the woman who stabbed her husband and then pushed him in front of the cops? That's the cop who caught her.
He drove me up to Mulholland, and we did some necking.
It's him. The cop from the newspapers.
Operator, give me R&I.
Putting you through now.
Phelps, badge 1247.
How could I help, Detective?
I need an APB out on a yellow cab, number 3591. Ask dispatch to relay all sightings to car 11K.
No problem. I'll get on the radio.
Were there any incident reports filed in the vicinity of Barron's Bar on North Beaudry Avenue? We're tracking a sailor who was involved in a fight outside the bar.
I can check the reports, Detective. I have a message for you from Captain Donnelly. Message reads, James Jessup, U.S. Navy able seaman, has information relevant to your case. Jessup is currently being detained at Central Station.
Could be our man.
Thanks.
Oh, I wish I could afford that. Are you drunk, mister, or are you just cracked? That price is outrageous.
Car 11K, we have a response on your APB regarding yellow cab number 3591. The vehicle has been identified at a gas station, now heading west on 7th Street. Sighted at the corner of Wilshire and Whitmer. Repeat, Wilshire and Whitmer, 11K. Further on your APB on yellow cab number 3591. Vehicle identified at Reggie's Cafe, heading north on Whitmer. KGPL clear. Suspect vehicle, yellow cab, 3591, sighted at 6th and Valencia.
Any century in a possible 415
What's that got to do
Calvert
with
Street
me?
Plaza,
The
unit
ferry you
handle
picked up
code
from
3
Barron's Bar
identified.
last night. What was the woman wearing?
It was a green dress. Oh, don't tell me something's happened to her.
Tell me about her.
She was with this sailor, and he was all over her. She wasn't having any of it. Said she just wanted to dance. But he had that look in his eye.
Where did you drop them off?
It's at the Crystal Ballroom.
What time?
After midnight. 12:30? Something like that.
Thanks. You've been a big help.
Well, that's gone and ruined my day.
Projectors provide uninterrupted entertainment. And for the first night audience, the Chesney Theater presents Mark Ellinger's newest hit. Well, guys. The last word in traveling luxury. Another step in the campaign to modernize American Railroad. You don't have to miss that picture you wanted to see, nor your favorite star. Now you can see them underway on board the Theater on Rail.
Mac, you're gonna kill us!
I get the point.
Watch where you're driving, you maniac!
If you want instructions on how to wipe your ass, you let me know.
There's people there!
Can I grab one with a lot?
At least as I recall. And you will be so accustomed to me. And almost no time at all. Before now. You
Isn't he the cop that won the medal and is solving all the cases?
When is America going to understand?
He's in interview too.
It's about giving.
Thanks. What do you make of him?
Sailor on furlough who looks like he's in trouble and knows it.
You think those Vice boys get any on the side?
Well, are there any leads?
I want to make homicide. You know you make it if you can get that gas.
You going to release me now? No way. So now you will get it. You see my mother? No, sorry. You trying to take me down?
help me
Open
out.
season on the sailor. Let's take a run at him.
You ask me, he's guilty. You can never trust a sailor.
It's open season on the sailor. Let's take a run at him.
How long is this gonna take?
Drink. I got the jitters again.
No good John with me, detective.
Hey, buddy, you dropped something?
Can you identify the man in this picture? You need me to find some papers or something?
That's the guy from the papers. Solved that big case.
Were you at home last Saturday?
3 blondes walk into a bar. You think one of them would have seen it?
Bust in there and find the goddamn evidence.
How bad is it? Come on, you can tell me.
You want me to fill this out? No, I'm there. You were smoking a cigarette in the other room?
Keep talking. Someday you'll say something intelligent.
You trying to sit me down?
Goddamn captain's making me resubmit the paperwork.
You think those Vice boys get any on the side?
Did you read about the woman who stabbed her husband and then pushed him in front of the car? That's the cop who caught her.
Is the captain in? Hey, do you guys need to stick around this ending? No way.
The guy gave his wife a tap. I said, don't stare and love him more.
Am I gonna get out of here tonight? You been to my house? Afraid not. Did you know, Mr. Mikowski? How long is this gonna take? Anyone seen where Miss Wells is?
I need a drink. I got the jitters again.
Hey, buddy, you dropped something?
I say we bust in there and find the goddamn evidence.
Heavens to Betsy!
Sirs?
It's him, the cop from the newspapers.
I used to be indecisive. Now I'm not so sure.
Hey, what are you doing?
Hey, don't mind me.
In all my years, I've never seen anything like this.
I want to make homicide. You know you made it if you can get that jack.
That price is outrageous.
Where's the phone?
Grown men playing at being boys.
Can I post you?
I don't need this.
Did you read about the woman who stabbed her husband and then pushed him in front of the car? That's the cop who caught her.
Oh, sister, I was so tight I couldn't walk.
That's the cop from the newspapers.
I don't think so.
I used to be indecisive. Now I'm not so sure.
Doctor, I can speak with right.
Hey, what are you doing?
She wants a 5-star goddamn wedding.
You look like you were a big pain in the neck.
Mouthpiece tore strips off me at the
Now I
grand
have
jury.
much
Case got
lower
thrown
opinion.
out. Now the DA wants my head.
got you.
When is America going to understand? It's not about getting, it's about giving.
It doesn't matter that I'm building in this city anymore. Yes.
The guy gave his wife a tap. I said all's fair in love and war.
And now you want me to lie? No.
It's open season on the sailor. Let's take a run at him.
Can you bring me the fire?
How many cases you gonna clear hiding in the station house?
I'm stumped. Ideas?
It's open season on the sailor. Let's take a run at him.
I want to make homicide. You know you made it to get that way. You were smoking a cigarette in the other room? That's correct. Did you
They bumped up a swiper me. Put him down with my staff. Olive oil comes from olives. Where does baby oil come from?
Did you read about the woman who stabbed her husband and then pushed him in front of the car? That's the cop who caught her. How bad is it? Come on, you can tell me.
It doesn't matter that I'm building in this city anymore.
Hey, buddy, you dropped something?
Is anybody making coffee soon?
Detectives Phelps and Galloway. We know why you're here, Jessup, so it would be best if you answered our questions truthfully.
I don't want any trouble. That's why I'm here. I heard on the radio about this lady getting killed. I got leave from my CO to come down straight away.
So why did you kill her?
I didn't kill anyone. Look, you need to believe me.
Let's start at the beginning. You went to Barron's Bar. What time did you arrive?
I got a 24-hour pass. I got there around 7.
That's where you met Teresa Terrellson?
Sure. We had a couple of drinks.
So you tried to make a woman who was incredibly drunk?
Look, I'm not proud of myself, but I never hurt her.
You took her dancing?
That's right. I caught a cab to the Crystal Ballroom.
You had a fist fight with Richard Bates over Mrs. Terrellson.
You met the guy? He's a creep. You should take a look at him for this.
I don't believe you, Jessup. You let Bates have it. What's to stop me from thinking that you lost your temper and slugged Teresa Terrellson, too?
What have you got that says I hurt her? You got nothing on me.
Looks like I was mistaken. You had a fist fight with Richard Bates over Mrs. Terrellson.
You met the guy? He's a creep. You should take a look at him for this.
He's pointing the finger directly at you, Jessup.
I only had one night before I was back in the tub. He had all the time in the world to look for some action. I belted him. I'd do it again. She was better off with me.
Sure. You're a shining example of chivalry, Jessup. Where did you go after the Crystal Ballroom?
I think the wind had gone out of her sails by then. She caught a cab and I caught a bus back to the base.
You're lying, Jessup. Tell me where you went.
I'm telling you, I caught a bus back to the base. What makes you say different?
It's nothing personal. I'm just doing my job. You understand that? The cab driver said that you were getting pretty familiar with Teresa.
It's not how I'd put it.
Tell the truth, Jessup. You were running out of time. You wanted to get laid and Teresa wouldn't come across. It made you crazy, so you strangled her with a piece of rope.
For Christ's sake, that's not true. I felt sorry for her. What proof do you have that I strangled her?
Like I made a mistake. Where did you go after the Crystal Ballroom?
I think the wind had gone out of her sails by then. She caught a cab and I caught a bus back to the base.
We spoke to the cab driver. Tell us what really happened at the Crystal Ballroom.
I'd had enough. She was all upset about her husband bawling about her kids. She looked old. We left around closing, maybe 1:30. We got on a bus and she fell asleep on my shoulder.
Which bus?
An All-American, 249. I went past her place. She jumped off and I stayed on it downtown. After that, I caught another bus to San Pedro. The Indiana's down there. She's being scrapped.
And that was the last you saw of Teresa?
Yeah, that's right. We didn't say much. I think she was kind of embarrassed.
The cab driver said that you were getting pretty familiar with Teresa.
It's not how I'd put it.
So the last thing you wanted was her playing hard to get. Did that make you mad, sailor?
Yeah, it did. She knew what a guy's looking for. All broads do. Dancing comes second.
And what happened at the Crystal Ballroom?
Nothing. Not even a little hand relief. She had another couple of drinks. There was no fun left in her. Just poured her guts out to some bartender.
We're holding you till we can clear this with the driver.
Yeah, my CO said as much.
Can you put the guy in 2 in a cell and inform the commander?
Sure, Detective. Got a message for you. Sighting of your disfigured hobo on Grand between Temple and Sunset. And it looks like the beau has a record, too. He's wanted in connection with 2 female assaults.
Thanks.
What now? Drive all the way to San Pedro and check his locker?
Let's see if the bus story checks out.
There's a depot at 1660 Beverly Boulevard.
Find the goddamn.
What are we waiting for? Three suspects in the can and one on the hoof. Still no hard evidence on any of them.
KGPL to car 11K. 11K, come in.
11K, go ahead.
Patrolman reporting that Bobby Ross's car game is breaking up at midnight.
11K, roger that. Plenty of time to get downtown, Cole.
It's possible. Have them bring him in.
KGPL, we have Lars Terrelson picked up.
LAPD, we'd like a word with you.
Save it for someone who's interested. They're fascists. Come to move us on and steal what little we have left.
6 rounds won't get us far.
I need you to stay copacetic. You need to hold out to the cavalry.
How do we do that?
Like this. Buckshot to keep you down, Phil.
If you want your
Disciples know what you
share,
did last night?
we need to fight for it.
What do you think of Joker?
What's your name?
Comrade Stalin.
Very funny. We'll find out from your personal effects.
Stuart Ackerman.
You're under suspicion for murder, Ackerman. We're taking you downtown.
You can't do anything more to me than what the Japanese have already done.
The Kremlin's over here, Phelps. Toss it, see what you find.
Ackerman doesn't look like much of a dancer.
Still working, Jack. I'm off to the Lighthouse Club in Santa Monica.
Hello, Jack.
Mr. Benson, this is Courtney Sheldon. He's a buddy of mine from the war.
Well, I'm sure you two will want to polish some old war stories. Good evening, Jack. Mr. Sheldon.
Good night, sir. Take a seat, Courtney.
We need your help, Jack.
I told you I would have nothing to do with that.
I'm fine too, Jack. Medical school's going well. I got a part-time job.
Do dope peddlers need part-time jobs?
We made a mistake and we're in trouble, Jack. A local gangster, Mickey Cohen, is putting on the squeeze.
So hand it over, walk away. What's stopping you?
We had a deal with them that they would dole it out slowly. They said they would supply abortion clinics and doctors, but they've been moving it on to addicts, and they can't cope with the purity.
So your problem is with gangsters being dishonest.
My problem is that people are dying, and that if this gets back to us, we'll all end up in jail.
So how am I supposed to help, Courtney? This isn't the war. I can't just wave a magic wand and clean up your mess.
We want you to negotiate, Jack.
The only thing these guys understand is force, Sheldon. They got to the top back east by proving to be more vicious than the English, the Irish, and the Dutch. They make their own laws. That's the nature of a secret society. For God's sake, Courtney, you want to be a doctor. How can you fight with that?
We are better trained, Jack.
I didn't make it through the war to come back to this kind of shit, Sheldon.
You can't do this. Are you licking up?
Looks familiar. Safe bet it'll match the mark under Teresa Terreldson's chin.
That broad got socked in with the deer.
Oh, you got a problem, pal?
That's the guy. I heard he's an honest cop. Now that's an oxymoron for you.
Isn't it the cop who caught the guy who's pretending to be dead? When's America going to understand?
Oh, I wish I could afford that.
The American Century Broadcasting Company salutes our veterans and reminds
The husband has an alibi, but no real motive other than neglect. Jessup's alibi checks out. Bates is a recidivist. He'll be pulling the same shtick until we put him away for good. Ackerman has history, opportunity, hard evidence. What motive?
We have the evidence. We know she was here. All we need is a confession, and we can charge the bum with murder.
This officer needs help. Bank of America, 7th and Olive. Officer needs help. Bank of America, 7th and Olive at 211 in progress and shots fired. Unit to handle code 3, identify.
God, you're gonna kill us! We're going this way.
Mouthpiece were stripped off me at the grand jury. Case got thrown out. Now the DA wants my head.
Ackerman, you were in the Marines.
How do you know?
The Corps selected big guys for flamethrower duty. That's how you got the burns.
Life expectancy was 5 minutes for a guy in flamethrower detail. What kind of a government puts weight like that on a man's shoulders?
You'll get no argument from me. It was a heavy load.
You feeling sorry for this smelly fuck?
You need me to sign some papers or something?
A bus driver dropped Mrs. Terrelson near your camp around 2 a.m. Why did you take her up to the hill?
Which hill? I have many places. I go where I please.
Does this mean I lose my life?
You're lying, Ackerman. There must be a reason. You could have killed her in the camp.
My reasons are my own. Can you disprove what I say?
Hey, do you fellas need me to stick around much longer? I was talking to you. If you stick long, have responsibility. That's correct.
Sorry. Sometimes you have to shake the tree to see what falls out.
You were smoking a cigarette in the other room? No entiendo. Is interview fee free? Negative.
Tell us that you killed Mrs. Terrelson, Ackerman. It's your only chance for help.
Why would anyone help me?
Did you know, Mr. Rakowski?
Hey, grab one with the works.
We're going this way.
I say we bust
Ackerman,
in there.
you were in the
find
Marines.
goddamn evidence.
How do you know?
The Corps selected big guys for flamethrower duty. That's how you got the burns.
Life expectancy was 5 minutes for a guy in flamethrower detail. What kind of a government puts weight like that on a man's shoulders?
You'll get no argument from me. It was a heavy load.
You feeling sorry for this smelly fuck?
Why did you kill Mrs. Terrelson?
I have no recollection of the people I have killed.
Can you bring me the flowers?
You hate women, Ackerman?
More than you could ever imagine.
How much did you hate Mrs. Terrellson?
I ache to put my seed in them. Afterwards, I have no use for them.
A bus driver dropped Mrs. Terrellson near your camp around 2 a.m. Why did you take her up to the hill?
Which hill? I have many places. I go where I please.
You are clearly insane, Ackerman. The state of California does not execute mental patients.
I don't know the names of the women I've killed, but I've killed many of them. Their necks are so fragile.
Where were you around 2 a.m. last night?
At the camp.
You have an alibi? Someone reliable. Someone who will be around on the day of the trial.
Fuck your trial. The capitalist system needs another victim from amongst the masses. So be it.
Stuart Ackerman, I am charging you with the murder of Teresa Terrellson.
A man down on his luck I can abide. But a filthy red who chooses to live outside the rules of society, I cannot stomach. Maybe poor Teresa Terrellson will provide the catalyst we need. I've spoken to the chief and the mayor, and I think it's time we send some men in to remove the godless and send them on their way over the county line. A grand day that will be, gentlemen.
Need a drink.
We're going
We
this
got the
way.
jitters again.
Calling all cars. Citizen reports officer needs help. Shots fired. Officer down. 6th Street and Lindley Place. 6th Street and Lindley Place. Unit to handle code 3. Identify.
Give me a break.
Are you liquored up?
I'm sorry, sir. Police officer, I need your car.
If I find one goddamn thing.
And thank you, ma'am. You have a safe trip now. Where are you boys headed today?
LAPD. We're after the driver of All-American 249. Would have been around midnight onwards last night.
Just a minute. Frank Zeffirelli. He's your man.
Where can we find him?
Frank is out on the 7-4.
Can you tell us the route?
Hang on. I should have it mapped out here somewhere.
Isn't he the cop that won the medal and is solving all the cases?
Did you read about the woman who stabbed her husband and then...
We need to run the
pushed her in
loop.
car? That's the cop who caught her.
We're not going to drive the whole thing, are we?
Won't take long. We have a siren.
Goddamn fool. Having a season of hell. All-American 7-4. Let's go get him.
So, you gonna see your married man again?
This could be a long trip, Cole.
Or it could be a short one.
And here's me without my hip flask and only a pain in the ass for company.
Way to kick off the drive in high spirits, Rusty. Comments like that put me in just the right mood for some legwork.
Touchy.
You know what your problem is? You don't like hard work. This kind of rigorous search is what police work is all about. Discipline.
Save it, Phelps. You're just as bored as I am. Hey, come on!
I survived the warmth of this.
Breathe, Phelps. Breathe, damn it! Nope, still no sign of him.
Did you doze off, Rusty? I think you slept through my solving the case.
Yeah, very funny. You just give me a nudge if you see him, all right?
How about you nudge me?
I think that's a job for your wife, Phelps.
Oh, Rusty.
Whoa there!
How long is this bus route?
It actually covers an area around the size of Central Division.
The probability is we'll find it about halfway around.
Bad luck says we'll be chasing it all night. a different man in front of the captain, Phelps. Cole, come on!
This is starting to grate a little.
You know, whatever happened to the joys of rigorous search? Dogged police work, you know?
They went out the window about 2 blocks ago.
Hey, this could be a Cole Phelps I'll grow to love.
Don't count on it.
Hey!
Where'd you learn how to drive?
Watch it, will you?
Full of advice, aren't you?
That's the bus we're looking for. Ease in behind her and get her to the side of the road. That's the bus we're looking for. Ease in behind her and get her to the side of the road.
There's some kind of problem, buddy?
LAPD, we're investigating a murder. You had a sailor and a woman in a green dress on your bus late last night?
That's correct.
And the woman got off first, around 2 a.m.?
Yeah, that's right. And the sailor stayed on all the way to downtown.
Can you tell us where you let the woman off?
On California Street. To tell you the truth, she looked a little lost, like she got off on the wrong stop or something. I didn't like dropping her off near that hobo camp.
You've been a big help, Mr. Zeffirelli.
So Sailor Boy escaped by the seat of his bell-bottom trousers. He left the broad alive.
Left her by the hobo camp.
Which means he's as good as killed her.
We can't eliminate any of them, but the disfigured man should be our starting point.
I'm gonna call for some backup. These bows hate cops. Easy.
So you're the first in this
I want to
family
make
born without a
homicide.
tail.
You know you made it if you can get that desk.
Mounties tore strips off me at the grand jury.
Ackerman, you were in the Marines.
How do you
Now the DA
know?
wants my head.
The Corps selected big guys for flamethrower duty. That's how you got the burns.
Life expectancy was 5 minutes for a guy in flamethrower detail. What kind of a government puts weight like that on a man's shoulders?
You'll get no argument from me. It was a heavy load.
You feeling sorry for this smelly fuck?
Why did you kill Mrs. Terrelson?
I have no recollection of the people I have killed.
You hate women, Ackerman?
More than you could ever imagine.
How much did you hate Mrs. Terrelson?
I ache to put my seed in them. Afterwards, I have no use for them.
A bus driver dropped Mrs. Terrelson near your camp around 2 a.m. Why did you take her up to the hill?
Witch Hill. I have many places. I go where I please.
You are clearly insane, Ackerman. The state of California does not execute mental patients.
I don't know the names of the women I've killed, but I've killed many of them. Their necks are so fragile.
Where were you around 2 a.m. last night?
At the camp.
You have an alibi? Someone reliable. Someone who will be around on the day of the trial.
Fuck your trial. The capitalist system needs another victim from amongst the masses. So be it.
Stuart Ackerman, I am charging you with the murder of Teresa Terrellson.
A man down on his luck I can abide. But a filthy red who chooses to live outside the rules of society I cannot stomach. Maybe poor Threes of Tarleton will provide the catalyst we need. I've spoken to the chief and the mayor, and I think it's time we send some men in to remove the godless and send them on their way over the county line. A grand day that will be, gentlemen. And a grand result you have brought me. You two are fast becoming my finest crusaders.
And now my heart's a blazing ruin. You say that you were only fooling. Don't walk away. Don't do me wrong. Don't leave me singing this torched song when I'm burning.
Of course we will look into it. Yes, I'm aware that it's an election year. Keep a hold of your hat, Counselor. Now is not the time to lose your nerve. It would appear that someone has hocked a rose gold wedding ring and matching engagement ring. Sound familiar?
Deirdre Muller.
Press the pawnbroker and see what you can find out. The address is 348 South Main Street. The Muller case goes before the grand jury next week, and the DA does not want any egg on his face. Then get out to the railroad depot on Santa Fe Avenue. We have another poor unfortunate found this morning beside a railroad line. 40-year-old white woman.
Right, Skipper.
Straight through the red light. Said she never saw it.
Another body and Deirdre Muller's ring. The Emperor may soon have to come to terms with the fact that he's wearing no clothes.
Exactly did you get that book of riddles shoved up your ass? Is that what your old man paid college tuition for? Hey, fight.
You've got to admit, this is looking odd.
Anyone could pawn a ring.
But if you take it along with all of the other indicators...
Cole, Hugo Moeller was identified by the school's groundskeeper. He's our guy.
Witnesses have fingered the wrong guy before.
He ran, for God's sake.
And he always maintained he was set up.
KGPL 20 Century Unit. The citizen reports a man with a gun on Grand between 4th and 5th. Any Century Unit identify.
You boys ready? Follow me.
Hard, isn't it?
Yeah. I look after all the rail depots.
What have you got?
The Negro, Nelson Gaines, called it in. I came down here to make sure him and the other guy, Jameson, stuck around.
Jameson found the body?
Something like that. Guy makes me sick.
We'll talk to the coroner. Keep an eye on both of them. Smell?
Very good. There is the usual evacuation smell, but it appears she's been living rough for quite some time.
Very strong smell of alcohol.
Well, the autopsy will tell, but I would assume that she was inebriated.
Another missing ring.
Certainly seems I've been swabbing a lot of bare fingers recently.
Can you be more exact about the time of death?
No later than 2 a.m. The state the body was in, a 1 or 2 hour window is the best I can do.
Beautiful day. Hope we have no trouble.
Someone was trying to get her to come home. We could go over to the lot and see what they know about her.
That's going to be difficult, Cole. Keystone Studio lot closed back in 41.
someone at Mensch's will remember her. This is a chit for personal items, not booze. It's an angle worth investigating.
This doesn't pertain to the case.
What have we got here?
White female, approximately 40 years of age, lipstick smudges on the face, but no writing, at least nothing legible. A blunt force trauma to the temple, nose, and eye regions. Ligature marks point to the probable cause of death being strangulation.
Any idea of the time of death?
From her temperature, after midnight would be my guess.
Phelps, 1247.
How could I help, Detective?
I need an address on Levine's Liquor. Closest store to the Santa Fe Avenue rail yard, if possible.
Just a moment, Detective. Closest store would be the one at 939 South Hope Street.
Thanks, ma'am.
From Hollywood, it's Dream Time.
Jesus, Phelps! Read that those goddamn Chinese want to sell the relief food that we're sending them?
Yeah, I read about that.
People are starving. They can't do that.
Want to sell the food to fund the civil war against the communists.
Really? Guess that's okay then.
Armies can't fight without food. You spend all your money on weapons, but you still have to have the will to fight. Fortunately, the Reds will win in China.
Watch your mouth. You know what you're saying? I get the point.
The people of this country overthrew a king. You think the Chinese will balk at an emperor if they are starving?
All units in the vicinity in any Central unit. A 211 and shots fired 410 South Flower Street. Unit that can handle code 3, identify.
How can I help you boys?
Detectives Phelps and Galloway, LAPD. You have a rose gold wedding and engagement ring?
David Bremner. Am I going to get something for this pledge? I gave that bum money, now you guys are going to leave me short.
How much did you give him?
$50?
Try another number.
20?
Try 10. Feel lucky you're getting it.
I have the rings right here.
What's this mark here?
Maker's mark. Usually traceable. That one came from Hartfield's Jewelry down on Broadway.
Thanks for the tip. Does this mark mean anything?
Hallmark. Gives you an idea of the quality.
What have you got on the guy who brought these in?
Goes by the name of Percy B. Shelley. Gave an address. 15 Poland Street, London, Tulare County.
Can you give us a description of the man who pawned these rings?
Not sure. Medium height, medium build. Dark hair, I think. Sorry. He just had one of those forgettable faces.
We'll be in touch, Mr. Bremner.
John Dickerson, you're not going to fire.
We should keep this development with the rings under our hat until we speak to the captain.
We're all on the same team, Rusty.
Chain of command, Phelps. The skipper will decide who needs to know. You got it?
I get it, Rusty. I just don't like it.
If you're gonna drive like this, at least use the siren.
We have a problem.
We could have the local troopers check out the Tulare County address.
The address is bogus. The purpose having fun with us. The guy who's been sending the Dahlia letters is also the guy who pawned these rings.
How do you figure that?
Percy Bysshe Shelley wrote the poem that came with the Dahlia letter. The Dahlia letters are genuine. The man who killed Elizabeth Short may have also killed Deirdre Mullen.
And how do we prove that, Phelps? Skipper ain't gonna like this one.
We're gonna have to rely on this guy tripping up on his own humanity.
Get in tonight.
Broken down from our angels is going to get married tomorrow. We went on.
Tell me what happened. So that's your dinner. No women? How'd you get the lipstick on your collar?
It isn't lipstick, it's blood. I cut myself shaving.
You didn't shave tonight.
But I cut it yesterday.
Jesus, Phelps, you're terrorizing these poor slubs.
I'm a slow bleeder.
I think the power's gone to your head, Phelps.
What are you driving at?
Don't act so innocent. I know all about them. That's the difference. Don't tell me they were all bachelors there.
They were all married men and only one bachelor. Your brother ain't.
No women?
No women. If you knew all about bachelor dinners, why didn't you make a party for them right here in your own house?
Because I'm not entertaining this evening. Maybe I'm not. Not as much as those dances and bachelor dinners.
Nobody danced. All we did was give a word of advice to a young man about to get married.
What was your word of advice?
Oh, my God.
Get out of the way!
I'd just like you to discourage my poor brother before he gets married. He's got a lovely girl and he's a wonderful boy. They'll get along beautifully. What right did you have to discourage him?
Everybody.
You hate being married, don't you?
No, I don't.
You don't like it. Why not, John?
Only start another argument. What are you? I have to get up and go.
What questions are you talking about? Belshaw tells Louise everything that happened.
Oh, what of it? I tell you lots of things that never happen at all.
You never convinced me. You sat around tonight smoking and telling stories.
That's all there was to it. Except after the speech was over, Amos wore the high silk hat to any man who could get up and say he never kissed any woman except his wife since he remembered. Well, sure.
Why didn't you stand up?
Oh, Blanche, you know I look like the devil.
survive this, it's gonna be a miracle.
Oh, Jesus, my paint job!
That's the cop from the newspaper.
Out of the car. Police.
Wait, officer! My bag is in there!
Forget you.
That's no lie. Here you are running off every night, smokers and bachelor dinners, leaving you all alone with no friends.
Oh, I'd never leave you.
Let me spend the rest of my days in solitude, growing old and feeble, nobody to give me any food, and no strength to walk to the kitchen. Why don't you get me a wheelchair, John?
Why don't you stop getting hysterical? Then inside of 10 seconds, you made yourself you're just
Snore like a steamboat.
Can I help it if I snore?
Yes, you can. Snore on account of your windpipe. You have a flaccid trachea, and when you inhale, it flushes. Why don't you let him fix it?
Okay, I'll have it fixed.
Say it, but you won't do it. Let him fix it now.
What?
Go on, get up and let Dr. Marvin pull out your trachea.
Are you out of your mind? You think I'm gonna let...
Beautiful day. Hope we have no trouble. Detective Phelps, LAPD homicide.
John Ferdinand Jameson.
We need you to answer some questions, John.
If you don't mind, I prefer Ferdinand.
Don't push your luck, knucklehead.
What were you doing to the body, Ferdinand?
Are you sure you won't be upset?
Try me, Ferdinand.
I was kissing her. It's not against the law.
Shut up.
There's no law
Take your
against it.
beating like a man.
Turn out your pockets, Ferdinand. Classic Carmine. Is this yours, Ferdinand?
No. I found it near her purse. I thought she could use some lipstick.
Rusty, stop! Don't hit him. You went through her purse?
It wasn't like she needed it. I took a look.
So you kill women and interfere with them. That's your M.O., Jameson?
I know some people might find what I do unusual, but I don't kill people. How can you prove that I killed this woman?
You're off the hook. For now. You found her lipstick. What did you write on her body?
What are you talking about? I didn't write anything.
You found the body?
Yes, I did. I work here. I was coming off shift and headed home.
Why didn't you report the body, Jameson? Do you know how this is going to look to a jury?
A jury? What gives? I could tell that she was dead. I came through here about midnight last night. She wasn't here then.
Let me belt him again.
You're under arrest, Jameson. We'll see how this plays out. Until then, you can think a little on how you'd like to be treated if you were found dead.
I'm telling you, it's not illegal. Me and some friends of mine...
Clyde, you get this sack of shit into a cell. I'll deal with him later.
Sure, Rusty.
Detective Phelps and Galloway, homicide. Can you tell me exactly what happened?
We were shutting cars over to the main line when I saw this man here lying on top of this woman. The woman wasn't moving and seemed to be in a bad way.
What time was this?
About 7:30 this morning, sir.
Thanks for your help. Have you given Patrolman Hart your details?
I have, sir.
Thank you. You can go now.
Beautiful day. Hope we have no trouble.
Just go easy, Phelps. Gently.
My goodness!
Cole! That will be all.
You drive. I need to go over the case notes.
Drink, fellas.
Phelps, Galloway, homicide. We need to ask you some questions concerning Evelyn Summers.
I'm Walter Mensch. Evelyn Summers? What is it now?
You knew Evelyn?
As well as I wanted to know Evelyn. She's a pain in the ass, always coming in here, cadging drinks, never had any money. She was in just a couple of nights ago.
Did she ever tell you where she was staying?
I don't know. I think she was living rough. She had that kind of stunk about her.
Who did she drink with?
A bunch of these guys. Ask around.
What's your name?
Grosvenor McCaffrey.
Mind if I ask you some questions, Mr. McCaffrey?
I'm just a starving writer, Detective. What do you want to ask about?
Evelyn Summers, and why she was found beaten and strangled in the rail depot on Santa Fe.
Okay. I see your point.
How well did you know her?
I can't say that I knew her. It was more like I was aware of her.
Did you see Evelyn last night?
No, I was at home, writing.
Do you want to get dragged into this, McCaffrey? Do you want us to get interested in you?
She hung out with this powder puff, James Tiernan. They haunted the public library together.
How well do you know James Tiernan?
I know he works some kind of plebeian job at Rawlings Bowling Alley.
Rawlings. I know that place. Corner of 9th and Grand. A lot of cops bowl there on Tuesday nights.
Do you have a criminal record, Mr. McCaffrey?
Nothing serious. I've had a few skirmishes.
But nothing reprehensible.
No. The odd parking ticket. That kind of thing.
Thank you for the information, Mr. McCaffrey.
Can I grab one with the works?
What's your name?
Grosvenor McCaffrey.
Mind if I ask you some questions, Mr. McCaffrey?
I'm just a starving writer, Detective. What do you want to ask about?
Evelyn Summers, and why she was found beaten and strangled in the rail depot on Santa Fe.
Okay. I see your point.
How well did you know her?
I can't say that I knew her. It was more like I was aware of her.
Did you see Evelyn last night?
No, I was at home, writing.
Do you want to get dragged into this, McCaffrey? Do you want us to get interested in you?
She hung out with this powder puff, James Tiernan. They haunted the public library together.
How well do you know James Tiernan?
I know he works some kind of plebeian job at Rawlings Bowling Alley.
Rawlings. I know that place. Corner of 9th and Grand. A lot of cops bowl there on Tuesday nights.
Do you have a criminal record, Mr. McCaffrey?
Nothing serious. I've had a few skirmishes.
You want to save me some time, or do you want me to look up your file?
Industrial disputes, strikes, workers' rights, that kind of thing.
A regular fifth columnist. Nice to meet you, comrade.
Thank you for the information, Mr. McCaffrey.
You're free to speak to the regulars. Just don't shake them
You a
too
friend
hard.
of Evelyn Summers?
Who's asking?
Very cute. You know who's asking.
I know my rights.
You don't have any. Answer the question.
Evelyn mooches for drinks. I don't have any time for that.
Was that so hard?
Keep writing me, copper.
At the moment, all I want to do is talk to the bottom of my glass.
The regulars might have something else to tell you, but I don't.
I say we try
So
the
what
liquor
next?
store next. I could get a short dog for the car.
Looks like trying to enjoy a quiet drink is against the goddamn law now, huh?
What did you make of McCaffrey?
Hey, come on!
There'll come a day, and it's coming very soon. We'll run him and the rest of his pinko buddies out of Los Angeles.
Amanda's a suspect, Rusty.
Give me a break. Whoa there.
And at the next junction, you shut your trap.
What can I do for you?
LAPD, Phelps and Galloway. We're making inquiries into the murder of Evelyn Summers.
Evelyn? She's dead?
You knew Evelyn Summers, Mr.
Robbins. Yes, I knew Evelyn. I was a good friend of her ex-husband. She kept some of her stuff here.
Can you show us, please?
Sure. Come this way.
You got some fine stock here, Mr. Robbins. You know, you let us take some for the road, this case might get solved a lot quicker.
He's joking, Mr. Robbins. She wasn't always such a loner. Evelyn was reading Aristotle?
Evelyn wasn't stupid. The only stupid thing about her was her need to drink.
And she was borrowing books from Grosvenor McCaffrey. I'm guessing Evelyn hadn't held down a job for quite some time before she was killed. Rawlings Bowling Alley. Maybe Evelyn did something other than drink in her spare time. When exactly did Evelyn work in the pictures?
A few years ago. She worked in legal copyrights for music.
We're trying to account for Evelyn's movements yesterday.
She came by in the morning.
A social visit to pick up some of her things?
She had a couple of bucks and bought a quart of rye.
Any idea where the money came from?
She didn't mention it. But she did say the booze was a present for a boy. She said they had been fighting and she had to make it up to him.
Were you and Evelyn close, Mr. Robbins?
Many people will be sad she's gone. I'll be one of the few.
We got the impression that Evelyn had been sleeping rough of late.
It became difficult for me to have her staying here. Her mother was trying to get her back on the straight and narrow. She's old now. And to be honest, you have to have a good reason to want to get back on.
Do you know a friend of Evelyn's by the name of McCaffrey?
Not personally.
She talked about McCaffrey.
Supposedly he fought in the International Brigade in Spain and in the miners' strikes back in Virginia.
Thanks for your help, Mr. Robbins.
No problem. Hey, I'd like to make arrangements for the funeral. You think I could get in touch with Evelyn's mother?
Put in a call to the watch commander at Central Station, Mr. Robbins. He'll be trying to reach the next of kin.
Thanks. Get the guy, huh? Evelyn never hurt anybody.
Charlie, don't you worry. He won't cut very deep. It doesn't make any difference how thin you slice it. It's still McCarthy.
Car 11K, come in. Car 11K, come in.
Did you read about the woman who stabbed her husband and then pushed him in front of the car? That's the cop who caught her.
Phelps, badge 1247.
How can I help, Detective?
Messages, please.
A message from Captain Donnelly. Return to Central, code 2.
Thanks.
Drunk, mister, or you just cracked?
Phelps! Slow and steady, come on! Where'd you learn how to drive? Calm down.
Top of my class back east. Now
Captain is
waiting
downstairs with Ray Pinker and Carruthers.
You think the Vice boys get any on the phone?
Heavens! That's the guy from the papers. Solved that big case. I don't need this.
What's this about, Captain?
Ray and Mal have some concerns over the Henry and Muller cases, which I don't want aired outside of this room.
The evidence is solid, Captain.
I agree, Rusty. It's just that corpses keep piling up.
Copycats.
I've been banging the same drum. But the notes and the lipstick messages.
Evelyn Summers, Cartel Classic Carmine. Each woman, same brand, same color.
Teresa Terrelson didn't have a lipstick message.
Technically, you're right, Rusty. She didn't have any lipstick. But she did have a message. We found it beneath her dress, scraped with a sharp stick.
What did it say?
You sure you want to know?
Ray?
As far as we can be sure, it said cunt BD.
That's one way of looking at it.
Looking at what?
Cunt is all about access, Phelps. You're married, so yours is mortgaged. Some of us like to pay by installments. This guy doesn't like to pay at all.
Why are you so angry, Mal?
Because I just had to fire one of my assistants. He was a friend of Jameson's. God knows what he might have been up to.
Captain,
We have good leads in the Summers case, but it's up to you to decide how we proceed.
Keep this under your hat for now. And to follow up on Evelyn Summers, I want daily reports.
We got our orders. Back to the Summers case. Get an address for McCaffrey. He'll have blown the bar. I'll meet you outside.
Guy gave his wife a tap. I said, don't stare and love him more.
How long is this going to take?
I want to make homicide. I mean, you know you've made it if you got that.
To find the war for this?
Cole Phelps, badge 1247.
How could I help, Detective?
I need an address for a Grosvenor McCaffrey.
Grosvenor McCaffrey. Apartment 6, 126 Yale Street, between Ord and Alpine.
Thank you.
The heck? Let me pose a question.
Depends. What you got to do with it?
Morals. Would it bother you to put the wrong person away?
Depends.
On what?
On whether anyone except the poor son of a bitch in the slammer ever found out.
Watch where you're driving, you maniac!
That alleyway leads to the rear of the building, sir. Someone's gonna have to climb up and take him down.
Good luck. Don't let him get a beat on you like I did.
We'll get them for you.
Stop goes are the worst kind of stuff. Shouldn't have had that second lunch.
You like killing cops?
Get out of the way! There's a madman on the loose!
Wow, I could have taken a little something from that.
We'll get them for you.
Stop killers are the worst kind of stuff. Shouldn't have had that second lunch.
You like killing cops? console the officer's family, but these guys are done.
What is the secret soap that the most lovely Hollywood stars use to preserve daintiness? Pandora brand toilet soap, the complexion soap. It's so fragrant, it's perfect for a day.
Mac, you're gonna kill us!
Tell me you're insured.
Sorry! My partner isn't the greatest driver in the world!
Pandora brand soap's got that creamy, active lather that's soothing and gentle on your skin. Why, Pandora is 7 ways better than old-style floating soaps. Take a tip from Hollywood. Make Pandora your daily bath soap. Pandora lathers twice as fast, removing the hardest water. It's a luxury that any woman can afford. Just a few cents a cake. Now that's thrifty. With its flower-like fragrance, it's a Hollywood secret. Ask your grocery for Pandora.
Give me a break!
Hello, Rusty. 2 on your usual lane?
I'm Detective Phelps. Homicide.
You must be new. What's your shoe size?
This is business, Florence. You got a guy who works here by the name of Tiernan?
Sure we do. He's a pin setter. Clears the jams, works the gutters. Go right in. He'll be hopping around the lanes toward the back. He's a nice boy.
Thanks, ma'am. Let's go get him.
Goddamn Bruins are having a season of hell.
This is a tasty burger.
Down the left side of the alley.
Say, could I borrow some of that mascara? He says he can get me in to meet Jack Warner.
Where's that goddamn waitress?
He plays the saxophone. Oh, and boy, can he get me going. Okay, keep moving, lover boy. Do you think my husband will buy me
the
that?
special, miss?
Food wasn't great, but you're real nice. Look, that's the latest thing.
Tiernan! LAPD! There!
What are you waiting for? Get after him!
We might go faster if we weren't carrying the extra weight. These are flashy cars to be parked outside a bowling alley.
The lanes attract a fast-living individual with money to burn, Cole.
Or a middle-aged individual with the need to feel virile.
I'll try to shoot out his tires. Wish me luck. Hit him, Cole. Spit him out. Another runner. Well, at least we've got a suspect.
Why do they always run? I'm sure we've got the wrong person in more than one of these homicides, but they always seem to land it.
You know, your theories are not airtight by any means. Don't go to sleep on me. Get me back in close. That is the end of that. About fucking time.
If this isn't the killer, we can at least get him for reckless endangerment.
That's unless he runs into a wall.
Put your hands in the air!
Breathe, Phelps. Breathe, damn it. Cole, come on!
You've helped quite enough.
That's crazy. Whoa!
I say we bust in there and find the goddamn evidence.
Yeah, I'm thinking of moving up to a 45. I want to put him down in one round.
Has anyone seen my pen?
Hey, buddy. You dropped something? See him? Saw his picture in the paper. What's that case where the lady cut up like a dahlia?
There's more work to do here, Phelps. Leave me be.
You're dawdling, lad. Get out there and catch me another evildoer.
I don't need this. I know you're.
Mister, a man like you always loses a battle of wits because you're unarmed.
Right through the red light. Bet you never saw it.
I say we bust in there and find the goddamn evidence.
Well, are there any leads? I'm talking to you.
Jesus, Phelps!
McCaffrey is in apartment 6. Doesn't look like anybody's home.
Probably nothing.
Torn from the letter we found beside the body. At the very least, I'd say it ties McCaffrey to the scene.
Doesn't tell me anything. Doesn't give me anything to go on.
He said he was at home. He said he didn't know her. And we have the book.
Let's see Carruthers argue his way out of this one.
Is that you, Grosvenor? Who are you guys? What are you doing in here?
We're from the LAPD, ma'am. Do you know where we might find McCaffrey?
I'm his neighbor. Is he in trouble?
Look, lady, we need to find him, and in a hurry. Are you going to give me trouble?
He has a pigeon coop up on the roof. He spends his mornings up there when he's been drinking.
How do we get up there?
Down the hall and up the stairs.
Drunk and in command of a carrier pigeon. Surely we can write him up for that. A citation, at least.
Isn't he the cop that won the medal and is solving all the cases?
Grosvenor McCaffrey!
Running on a hangover, McCaffrey? Sit down and we'll talk.
Son of a bitch. I'll go get our wheels.
There he is, officer!
You a runner, McCaffrey? Stay and fight the good fight. McCaffrey, you're under arrest on suspicion of murdering Evelyn Summers.
We need to get downtown and wrap this thing up. It's got to be McCaffrey. Unless Tiernan set him up. I don't think that asshole Jameson did that, do you? Yeah, whoever did it. So it wasn't that Dahlia fuck.
How do you know that McCaffrey didn't do the Dahlia?
Watch it, will you? We have a list of over 200 suspects. His name was never on it.
If you think the list is exhaustive, Rusty, who am I to argue?
Listen, let's just work the case at hand, shall we? Then we can sit down and put all the puzzle pieces together at a later date.
I'll hold you to that.
Slow and steady, come on!
You sure you can make it stick with one of these suspects, gentlemen?
It's either McCaffrey or Tiernan, sir. I think Jameson is an aberration.
All right. I'll deal with that degraded lunatic myself. He's got some fearful retribution coming. Tiernan isn't one, McCaffrey isn't two. I want a confession from one of them. Don't fail me, young Phelps.
Hey, you think those Vice boys get any on the side?
Why did you run, Tiernan?
I was the last one to see Evelyn that night. I knew you would think it was me.
Can you describe your relationship with Evelyn?
I barely knew Evelyn.
Sounds like half an answer to me, Tiernan. Were you sleeping with her?
That's none of your business.
Aristotle's Metaphysics, the book that belonged to McCaffrey.
McCaffrey saw her looking at her once and laughed in her face.
And you're saying Evelyn stole it?
She wanted something of his.
I'm no hood. I'm a king.
You don't like McCaffrey, do you, Tiernan?
He's full of the common man routine, but he props up a bar like the rest of us. Evelyn thought he was going to be a great novelist. And he had nothing but vitriol for her.
You were smoking a cigarette in the other room?
You and Evelyn were drinking together last night, and she had no other place to stay.
I don't know what happened last night. I don't remember.
Can you identify the man?
If you don't give me some reason to think differently about this, Tiernan, I'm gonna have to go to the DA.
I drank half a bottle of scotch. I don't remember a goddamn thing.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm thinking of moving up to a 45. I want to put him down to 1 round.
Mouthpiece torch strips off me at the grand jury. Things were thrown out.
You ready to answer some questions?
You think I have all the answers?
People who run from the police usually have something to hide.
Touché, detective. Let's see where this takes us.
You told us you barely knew Evelyn Summers.
She hung around sometimes. I had very little to do with her.
You'll have to do better than that, Grosvenor. We know about you and Evelyn.
Evelyn was a lush, and a boring one at that. You can't link her to me. Seems there's a serious gulf between what you think you know and what you actually do, Detective.
Back here!
I want to make homicide. I mean, you know you've made it if you got that death.
Guy gave his wife a tap. I said, all's fair in love and war.
Why did you run, Tiernan?
I was the last one to see Evelyn that night. I knew you would think it was me.
Do I need to find someone to look after me meanwhile?
Can you describe your relationship with Evelyn?
I barely knew Evelyn.
You really think I'm gonna squeal?
Keep lying to me and I'll have you charged and in front of a grand jury before your feet touch the ground.
How can you possibly prove Evelyn and I were more than friends?
Were you at home last Saturday? That's correct. Can you identify the man in this picture? Is the captain in? That's correct. How long is this gonna take? I ain't talking to you. Is this a picture of your car?
How come this is so hard to believe? A man and a woman getting along, liking each other just as friends.
Aristotle's Metaphysics, the book that belonged to McCaffrey.
McCaffrey saw her looking at her once and laughed in her face.
And you're saying Evelyn stole it?
She wanted something of his.
We either hang this on you or McCaffrey. You better give us something.
Well, McCaffrey's been in trouble with the law before. I mean, he always makes out it was some kind of labor dispute. But, you know, I'm not so sure.
You and Evelyn were drinking together last night, and she had no other place to stay.
I don't know what happened last night. I don't remember.
You're lying, Tiernan. You'd been fighting with her. You fought, and...
I'm not lying! She got up and left! That was it!
Will this take long? I have responsibilities. Negative.
She left, but she came back. She bought you a quart of whiskey to make it up to you. She told the liquor store owner. You're in deep trouble, buddy.
She said she loved me. She wanted to care for me. But she would never stop talking about McCaffrey. McCaffrey was a writer, and McCaffrey was a hero. McCaffrey cared for the little guy.
Did you kill her, Tiernan?
I might as well have. I kicked her out. She had nowhere to go.
Do you own a car, Tiernan?
No, I don't.
Have access to a lug wrench?
We use a lot of them to clear jams in the pin setting machines.
Coroner's report says that Evelyn was killed with a wrench. I think you did it and then planted the evidence at McCaffrey's apartment for us to find.
We went to his apartment. McCaffrey was up on the roof. Evelyn stole the book. McCaffrey went crazy when he found out. He said he would put her out of her misery. He can be very cruel.
Evelyn was missing a ring from her right hand.
That's strange. She always wore it. A big black circular disc with a white E in the middle. It was made from an old typewriter key, a present from the prop department at her old movie studio.
We're going to talk to McCaffrey. You need to think about what you've told us, Tiernan. You're not in the clear.
This is your automobile, correct?
They weren't even his prints and he still confessed.
You're kidding. I could save all year and not be able to afford that. Isn't he the cop who won a medal in solving all the cases?
Two peanuts are walking down the street. One was assaulted.
You ready to answer some questions?
You think I have all the answers?
People who run from the police usually have something to hide.
Touché, detective. Let's see where this takes us.
You told us you barely knew Evelyn Summers.
She hung around sometimes. I had very little to do with her.
Doesn't look good, Grosvenor. It's either you or Tiernan from where we're sitting.
Personally, I think Evelyn is better off, but I had nothing to do with it.
Evelyn died sometime around midnight. Remind me, where were you?
I was at home, writing. I'm working on a manuscript.
You're lying, McCaffrey. You were out at the rail yard.
And what do you have that proves I was there?
It's nothing personal. I'm just doing my job. You understand that? Evelyn died sometime around midnight. Remind me, where were you?
I was at home, writing. I'm working on a manuscript.
You're lying, McCaffrey. You were out at the rail yard.
And what do you have that proves I was there?
How about half of Augusta Summers' last correspondence with her daughter?
What are you talking about?
After you were done beating Evelyn, you searched her and found her mother's letter. That old lady's anguish amused you.
I know nothing about a letter or Evelyn's goddamn mother.
So what was it doing on your writing desk?
I don't know, but if I didn't put it there, somebody else did. Try exercising your powers of deduction on that.
We found the lug wrench that Evelyn was battered with in your apartment, and the note from her mother, and your blood-stained clothing. We have you cold, McCaffrey.
You think if I could be bothered to murder Evelyn Summers, I would be stupid enough to leave the evidence in my apartment?
I don't believe you, Grosvenor. The evidence says that you killed her.
You can prove that I wanted to kill Evelyn?
Tiernan is prepared to testify that you threatened Evelyn's life in his presence.
Self-preservation. That's understandable. Okay, I'll level with you. Tiernan killed Evelyn. He came to me for help. I listened to him, and he explained why he did it.
Tiernan went to you for help. You expect me to buy that?
That's how it went down. I told him he made a terrible mistake, but he would be throwing his life away if he went to the cops. I took his things and told him I would dispose of them.
But you didn't.
Speak to Tiernan. He'll give it up.
It's either going to be you or Tiernan, Grosvenor.
Make it stick, detective. The party has good lawyers.
Yeah, I'm thinking of moving up to a 45. I want to put him down in 1 round.
Operator, give me dispatch.
Putting you through now.
Phelps, badge 1247.
How could I help, Detective?
I need the jacket on a Grosvenor McCaffrey.
Just a moment, Detective. McCaffrey was formerly under surveillance by the Red Squad. Convictions for petty theft. Dishonorable discharge from the Army during training at Syracuse. Assault on a local woman. Says he almost beat the woman to death.
Thanks for your help.
Hey, you think those Vice boys can get me on the side?
You were in the war?
Yes, I was. Seeing the things that I saw, it changes a man. I came back here determined to change things. All I wanted was a pen and an opportunity to speak out.
You told us before that you had only minor run-ins with the police. You didn't mention petty theft.
I've never been in trouble for violence. That's the salient point here, isn't it?
You're lying, McCaffrey. You have a history of violence towards women.
How do you turn a couple parking tickets and a petty theft misdemeanor into an assault charge?
We know all about you and your dishonorable discharge, beating some poor woman near to death in Syracuse. You've never been in combat, McCaffrey. Your whole life is a fraud.
She was a goddamn peasant whore! She tried to steal from my wallet. I could have fought for this country. I could have...
You beat her because she stole from you. Because she tried to outsmart you.
The ignorant audacity of the bitch. What is a man supposed to do? Sit there and take it? How is a man supposed to call himself a man?
And Evelyn Summers, a poor, drunken nobody, stole your book.
And she got what was coming to her.
Grosvenor McCaffrey, I'm charging you with the murder of Evelyn Summers. She was a sad lady who never hurt anyone except herself. I hope God finds a way to forgive you.
Congratulations, boys. You bagged the fine catch. Another red to boot. Grand. Now, I want you to put this business about a repeat offender out of your mind. This McCaffrey creature shows no remorse, and neither will the grand jury. You would have to walk a long mile to find a better candidate for an unmarked plot in the prison graveyard.
We have lost most of Shaughnessy and Dunn's squad. The gunny is dead. First platoon is in worse shape. That medic is either crazy or the bravest man alive.
Then we rally with the first, then try for the Nambus.
It's sheer to the left. To the right, it goes right through a pass with 2 Nambus and enfilade. Mate, we can lose everyone.
Lieutenant, get back off this fucking bridge. They'll start walking the mortars back to their own positions. We only have minutes.
I'm in charge here, Sergeant.
Get your men off the bridge, Lieutenant.
What's your unit, Sergeant?
We don't have time for this, Lieutenant.
What's your unit, Sergeant?
I company 22nd Marines, Lieutenant, and we just saved your ass by fording the river.
My orders are to reconnoiter the...
I think that point is now moot. You have 10 men left. My orders are to save what's left. Move out!
Well done, lads. You did well with the Summers case. But we have a problem. The examiner received a new letter today.
Do you mind if I take a look, Ray?
Go right ahead. They've both been rinsed in gasoline like the previous letters, so I can't lift a print.
Get in on the side.
No one else but the killer knew about this message. To suffer woes which hope thinks infinite, to forgive wrongs darker than death or night. Another snippet from the Shelley poem. If the note is from the Dahlia maniac, he definitely also killed Teresa Terrellson.
Mal and I agree.
But where does that leave us? If this is the Dahlia killer, and he is responsible for the Tarrelson murder, not to mention the Muller
Hang
case.
on a moment, Skipper.
Let me finish, Rusty. We have 5 birds in hand and none in the bush. The department will not survive a scandal if we have to let them all go without catching a fiend first. Your careers will be over for a start, gentlemen.
Looking in wonder.
Fuck it. I knew this run was too good to be true.
I hid myself within a fountain in the public square.
You like that stuff? What is it supposed to mean?
It's supposed to... Forget what it's supposed... What does he want it
Where are you going with this, Cole?
He's obviously taunting us. He believes he's far more intelligent than we are.
Okay, it's some kind of story, right? A guy that God hates, chains him up.
It's an allegory, Rusty.
A what? Story with two meanings. A symbolic meaning. But that's what he wants us to think.
Could he be using it literally? Within a fountain in a public square? Could it be that easy?
Can somebody tell me what the fuck is going on?
The fountain in Pershing Square. Come on, we have a clue. Captain, thanks, Ray.
Be careful, Phelps. This is his game you're playing now.
What the hell?
That broad has socks in it, Brazier.
Hey, don't mind me.
Isn't he the cop who won a medal and is solving all the cases? You're kidding. I could save all year and not be able to afford that.
Parker or Green? I don't know who'd be worse.
Do I need to start calling to look after my room?
What the hell?
Thank you.